From Newsnets and CCTV, it's high school basketball coming to you tonight from Cadillac High School.
Second half action on the horizon here at Cadillac High School as you are watching Northern Michigan High School basketball on Newsnet Sports and CCTV as the Garber Dukes trail the Cadillac Vikings 24-14 heading into the third quarter. I'm Derek Tate alongside Dan Gussert. Vikings start to begin the third quarter.
It's always interesting to see after halftime what kind of adjustments teams make. Once again, I think we see it. Garber really doing a nice job when the Vikings get the ball inside.
That's the way you want to start things off.
Vikings with a turnover, and Day gets 2 points, his sixth of the game now.
And Cole Genema with 6 points. Nice work and footwork down on the block. Gets that one to go with the left hand. Genema now with 6 points and 6 rebounds. Lead swells back up to 10. Cadillac on top, 26-16. Riley Day's jump hook doesn't go. Burrows gets the offensive board, but is stripped, and here come the Vikings. Klotz, 3-ball, corner pocket. That one off the mark. Genema with his 7th rebound, his 5th offensive board.
That was a heck of a rebound. That was not an easy one to corral and control.
It's an extra possession for the Vikings, trying to add to their 10-point advantage. They led by as many as 13 in the first half. It was Evan Bohr, number 5, the junior, who led all scorers with 13 points. Logan Wild breaking down the defense on the dribble. That one rattles in and out. Baker gets the offensive board, goes up, count the bucket and the foul. Tip Baker, the senior guard, getting his hands dirty down low.
We saw him on the offensive glass a lot last week. He's so quick to the ball. He's got such strong hands. I thought Garber did a pretty solid job at the initial part of that box out. Nobody went and got the ball.
Get this, a total of 2 free throws taken in the first half as Baker converts on the 3-point play opportunity.
I think the first adjustment I'm noticing for Cadillac is they are picking up right at half court, making it a little harder for Garber to get into their offensive set.
Here's an open look, corner 3 from Adam Schimmel. That one short, and here come the Vikings. Cadillac with 24 points in the first half. They've scored 60 twice so far this season. In every one of Garber's losses, they've given up 60 or more points. Baker driving baseline. Now Genema puts the ball on the floor and gets it to go. 8 points for Cole Genema.
Not a lot of breathing room out there right now for Evan Bohr. That's the adjustment I'm noticing from Essexville. Bohr with, I think, 12 in the first half. They've been pretty tight on him, and the Vikings have done a nice job adjusting and finding other players at this point.
Largest lead of the night for the Vikings. They're up by 15. Just over the 5-minute mark remaining in the third quarter. Schimmel. Good contest from Logan Wild. This Vikings defense all over Garber to start the second half.
Some nice switching on the interior screens down low right there, and Essexville hasn't made the adjustment to Cadillac's second half adjustment down there. We'll see what they do. They also picking up a little bit before half court right here.
As we mentioned before, non-conference game for these two squads. Cadillac Vikings 7-0 on the season, coming off of a 42-27 victory over Alpena on Friday night here at Cadillac High School. And here's Klotz for 3. No good. Genema gets the board and puts it right back up and in. Cole Genema with 10 points and 8 rebounds. He's on double-double watch. McFarland's 3, no good. Van Octen stays with it and gets an extra possession for Garber.
Once again, you see Levi Klotz. He's putting a lot of ball pressure up top. making Essex just go a lot wider on those curl screens, and it's been a great adjustment for the first 4 minutes here of the second half by the Cadillac Vikings and coaching staff.
As Tip Baker is a nuisance to opposing ball handlers, able to poke that one free, goes off of Essexville. Another turnover forced by this Vikings defense. 17-point advantage for Cadillac.
Very patient set here this time by the Vikings. Slowly backing Essexville down, and as a result, they get a nice wide open shot from the corner by none other than
Evan Bohr.
Evan Bohr.
16 for Evan Bohr, his fourth three-pointer.
Great extra pass right there by Levi Klott, who had a pretty good shot attempt himself, but he got it to the hot man who had a better shot attempt.
Millars answers with a three of his own. And those have been few and far between for Essexville tonight.
First triple of the game and first points of the second half for Essexville.
17-point lead for Cadillac. It did swell all the way up to 20. Chenema double-teamed. Baker fires for three. Off the front iron. Rebound snared by the big fella, Braden Swartout. And Millars. We talked about Tip Baker, who has got active hands on the defensive end, forces a jump ball. Will stay with the Garber Dukes, but
that was a nice play by Tip. He just kind of backpedaled, and when the ball was put right in front of his face, he just put his hand right on. He's got such good, strong hands. Results in a jump ball. Great defensive play.
And for how much pressure the Vikings defense has, as there was going to be an offensive foul on the inbound on Swartout.
Clearing a little space for a teammate, got caught.
Only 2 team fouls despite all the turnovers forced by Cadillac in the first half. As Baker pressured as the Dukes try to force a couple turnovers to get back into this one. 17-point lead for the Vikings.
The other adjustment is the Vikings aren't looking so much interior to that free throw line area. They're staying exterior and making cuts and passes and getting some really good looks as a result.
And Bohr just can't miss. His fifth three-pointer, 19 points for Evan Bohr.
Nice job by David Johns right there, bodying up. Not making that inbounds pass possible by Essexville.
And an arid shot that misses everything from Ben Davis. And I thought Evan Bohr might take a heat check there, but here's Wyatt Vincent for three, and that one hits the backboard. Vikings get back on defense, but McFarland gets the bucket and the foul, going right at Austin Abram.
That's just his second basket of the game and his first trip to the free throw line, and I think the first trip all night for Essexville Garber, as the Vikings defense have just, they've not committed fouls, but they have been tough on the ball.
One of the senior leaders for head coach Chris Watts of this Garber Duke squad, Dylan McFarland. Don't let the 5'10 frame fool you. He's not afraid to go at the basket and attack the opposing big men. McFarland's attempt goes in and out. 18-point lead for Cadillac as in checks the junior guard, Brady McLaurin.
Be interesting to see if Brady gets a basket right here. If we hear over the PA, that's my boy. As Coach Mike McLaurin of the girls basketball program, that's his son out there.
As the big fella for Essexville checks out, Braden Swartout. You know, I called a game once upon a time for my little brother, and when he got a sack fumble, I let everybody know he was my little brother.
Good for you.
Cadillac with an 18-point advantage. Foul on the perimeter on Jack Millars.
Yeah, a little bit of a hip check, hand check right there. Good call. It's not kind of the play we've seen from either team. You know, they've been pretty physical, but not that hip hand check. That's called right away.
Gotta like Jack Millar's game. A sophomore out there getting a ton of minutes for Essexville. As the Vikings in firm control, Vincent gets an open look. That one off the mark. And a loose ball foul on the newly checked in Alex Barcheski.
Alex with his first foul of the night.
You know, the big fella plays tight end on the football team. Certainly not afraid to get physical and mix it up. As the Dukes try to dip into this 18-point disadvantage. Burrows off the mark, but up and in is Ben Davis, who gets the second chance opportunity to go.
His first points of the game. Under a minute to go, Vikings by 16.
And McFarland forces the steal, but steps out of bounds. Can't quite save it. Vikings will retain possession. This is a Vikings basketball program that has seen a lot of success in recent years. They've won 5 regional titles from 2011 to 2015. As there's a timeout from head coach Ryan Benzenberg, we got a chance to go ahead and thank some of our sponsors for
yeah, let's do that. Cadillac Tire here in town, Pizza Plus, and Fox Motors at Cadillac. And you know, while we got a moment, let's talk about the people behind the scenes on our cameras tonight. Alden McCoy, Elizabeth Ginrich, and McKenna Morrison. And in the truck, stepping into the director's chair right now is Damian Brooks, along with Hannah Crouch helping him out.
Somewhere on the ground near Damian's foot is an empty Mountain Dew can. Can almost guarantee it, but you all do a fantastic job. Again, thank you so much for letting us be able to be the voice of Michigan high school basketball. Not to mention, you know, these young men and women, they get a chance to get on-the-job training, get to handle a camera, see if they like some live TV production.
You never know. Someday one of these people that is helping us out, we might see them on some of the major TV networks or major sports networks out there someday in the future. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just something they enjoy. And
they may take our job.
Absolutely.
As the Vikings have possession, 36 seconds remaining. Tip Baker checks back in. 16-point lead for Cadillac.
Cadillac with a big lead, probably going to just kind of wind the clock down. I wouldn't expect them to see him take a shot as they turn it over with about 10 seconds to play. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for the Vikings.
Ben Davis with the steal. Woodruff over to Burrow. 10 seconds left as the Dukes. Here's McFarland for 3. That one no good. Baker with the rebound. 3 seconds left. And there's going to be a foul on the floor. They're going to call it on McFarland.
That's not a bad foul by Mr. McFarland right there with less than 2 seconds to play. Doesn't give you much opportunity, but there's a non-conference game where you can practice one of those plays that you work on in practice. We'll see what the Vikings do here.
Baker gets the ball to the big man. And good hands from the Essexville defense. But the Cadillac Vikings extend their lead in the third quarter by 6 points as we head to the fourth and final quarter with the Cadillac Vikings looking to improve to 8-0 as they lead 39-23 over the Garber Dukes as you are watching Northern Michigan High School basketball here on NewsNet Sports and CCTV.